Hello students of class 6, welcome back to our social science class. So today we would be looking at the history lesson 4, that is ancient cities of Tamilagam. So let's quickly get into the lesson. So the topics that we will be discussing today are Poompuhar and its port. We will be able to know about Madurai and Kanchi. So these are the ancient places, that is the places where our ancestors lived. So these three places we will be knowing in detail. So you see in the map, right? Yes, so on the top we have Kanchipuram, and the areas that are marked in green are all ancient cities. So we have Kodumanal, Karur, Urayur, Keeladi, Madurai. They are all ancient cities, and the ones which are marked in orange color are the ancient ports, that is the place where ships came and landed. So the ships used to get the imports from other countries, and it used to also take back the exports to other countries. So the ports are Marhalai, Arikamedu, Poompuhar, Tondi, Alagankulam, Korkai, and many more. So let's get started to know about Poompuhar first. So Poompuhar is one of the oldest towns in ancient Tamilagam, and this place is well known for the characters of Silappatikaram, that is Kovalan and Kannagi. So Kovalan and Kannagi live in Poompuhar too. So this is where the Tamil epic Silappatikaram was written. And thirdly, like we saw earlier, it also has a port, that is in the Bay of Bengal. The port is established for facilitating maritime trade, that is for exports and imports. So let's know about the Poompuhar port. The Poompuhar port was known by names such as Puhar and Kaveri Poompattinam. So it was not only called Poompuhar port, but was also called as Puhar or Kaveri Poompattinam. So it served as a port of the early Chola kingdom. And secondly, it is one of the popular Sangam literature. Pattinapalli and Tamil epic Silappatikaram and Manimegalai have reference to the exports and the imports that happen in this particular port. So they used to sell and they used to get products through this port, and thus we see this port even in the Tamil epics like Silappatikaram and Manimegalai. So if you want to know more about Poompuhar, I think you can read Silappatikaram. And you know what? Even foreigners came here through Poompuhar port. So many foreigners, in the name of merchants, that is, they sailed their ships and came to Poompuhar port. So the Greece and Rome merchants also landed in Poompuhar, and due to the trade that was very busy here, the merchants lived here. So they stayed here and they used to sell products here. And moreover, these foreign traders, when they came here, they used to talk to these people, the people who lived here. So thus, by talking to these people, our Tamil people were able to learn French and many more foreign languages. And in turn, not only our people learned French and English, but even the foreigners started learning Tamil. So, in this way, languages, ideas, and everything had an cultural blending. So, when they shared their ideas, they shared their language and food items and many more, there was a cultural blending. Blending means they both started exchanging their ideas and everything. So thus foreigners also had a role in the Poompuhar port. So you might be thinking what they imported and exported, right? So let's look at the imports and the exports. So you know what, students? The main import was they used to get horses through ships. So ships came with horses from other places and then they sold the horses. Then they used to get jewelry from other countries and then they used to refine them, clean them, and then send to some other countries. Then they got in pepper through roadways, and then they got in pearls, they got in sandal, that is the sandal powder we use, and then they got in corals, they got in many more food items. So all these the people in Poompuhar used to get from other countries, and then these people, they get it from other countries, they train it, they train the horses, they refine the jewels, they pack the pearls, or they make jewelry out of the pearls, they pack the powder, they pack the food items, and then again they used to export, that is they sell these products to other countries, and the ship used to take them for exporting. So next, let's look at the life in Poompuhar. That is, let's look at the people. So the people lived in broad and straight streets, and their houses had dotted designs in them. So every house had a dockyard, that is like a storeroom behind. So we can learn about the life of the people in Puhar by reading Pattinapalli and Puhar Kandam of Silappatikaram. So in Silappatikaram, even the lifestyle of the people in Poompuhar is written. So the people here had trade as their major occupation, and they did all small work. Not only that, they had great kings there and even foreigners residing in that place. And a person who was really inspired by Poompuhar has written Silappatikaram. So we will be able to know about Poompuhar in Silappatikaram. So moving on, now we are going to know about Madurai. So Madurai has been one of the oldest cities in India. So we know about it through the Sangam Valartha Nagaram. So the Pandyas, Cholas, and many more people ruled this Madurai in the ancient days, that is in the olden days. Pandyas, Cholas and Kalabras used to rule Madurai. Moreover, not only in Pumpuhar, even in Madurai, people did trade. And do you know how they came to know it? Yes, when archaeologists searched the place, they came to know that even in Madurai, trade has happened. So let's see what is famous in Madurai that they traded. So ahil, fragrant wood was brought from Port Tondi to Madurai. And you know what, students? The great King Solomon, whom we read in the Bible, he is known to be the one with so much knowledge, and he built a church, and that church had pearls in it. Do you know where the pearls were imported from? Yes, it was imported from Uravi, that is near the Pandyan port, which is also in Madurai. And the coins were also minted in Madurai. So the Roman coins, you see, like we have 1 rupee, 2 rupee coins now, right? Yeah, likewise, the olden days they had Roman coins and all. Those coins were printed in Madurai. So this is said to be the glory of Madurai. It is a big thing to mint a coin for an foreign, right? So that is the glory of Madurai. So moving on, we have seen about Pumpuhar, its port, Madurai, its trade, and now what is left? Yes, Kanchi. We are going to know about the place Kanchi. Kanchi is known as a place of learning. So let's see why. A place of learning is called school. Several schools were established in great numbers for the first time in Kanchipuram. So Kanchi is none other than Kanchipuram. So why was it called a place of learning? Because it had many schools. For the first time, Kanchi was the only place to have so many schools, it seems. So Jains studied in Jain Palli and Buddhists studied in Viharas. So there were two divisions. One is Jains and second one is Buddhists. So Jains studied in Jainapalli and Buddhists used to study in Viharas. Scholars like Dharmabala, Jyotibala, Sumati and Bodhidharma were born in Kanchi. So these scholars came from Kanchipuram. So moreover, Kanchi is also known as the temple town. So many of us also might have gone to Kanchipuram to have a look at the temples, right? Yes, it's famous for temples, and that is why it is called as a temple town. So let's see about the temple. The famous temple of great architectural beauty, Kailasanatha temple, was built by later Pallava king Rajasimha at Kanchi. During the Pallava period, a large number of cave temples were built. So why is this temple famous? Yes, the temple had many architecture in it, and that is why it was called famous. And who was it built by? Yes, it was built by the Pallava king during the Pallava period. And many more cave temples are in Kanchi. So if you get a chance to visit Kanchi, quickly go to the Kanchi temples and have a look at them. So we saw that Poonpahar is famous for the port, and it had so many materials of import and export. And then we saw about Madurai, and his famous glory was minting of coins. So what is famous in Kanchi? Let's see. So water management played an important role in the agrarian society. So many lakes were built for storing water. So the term water management was introduced by Kanchi. How did they store water? Yes, they made them into lakes and then they stored water. Not only lakes, but these people also had canals constructed, and it wasn't constructed now, but it was constructed in the ancient days. So the water management skills was learned from Kanchi, and that is the famous part of Kanchi. So as we come to our end, let's see what we looked at in our class. So we saw about Poonpahar, and its famous was that it had a port. Second, we saw that Madurai was a trading town. And third, we saw that Kanchi was an educational center. So I hope you learned about the ancient cities of Tamilagam and you understood it clearly. So that's all for today's class, students. Thank you. Have a good day.